long time, the United States and the United Nations have said that they stand up to protect those who are fighting for human rights. But it is not enough to say that you are going to protect those who are fighting for human rights. You must do something to protect those who are fighting for human rights. United Nations today, for those at supposed Camp Liberty, is that we will not support our own convictions with our actions. It is not sufficient to talk. If you're a world leader, you must act. Now, we have made progress in the last 2 years. No longer is the Iranian resistance unjustifiably on the American terrorists, or the Canadian terrorists, or the Australian terrorists. And I give the Europeans, our friends in Europe, the credit for obeying the law long before we did, and getting them off the terrorist list long before. But the fact of the matter is that there are more than 3,100 Iranian dissidents who the United States of America disarmed with a promise to protect, that are sitting in what amounts to a prison camp near Baghdad in Iraq, and the United States of America has a primary responsibility to make sure those people are relocated, and relocated now, out of Iraq. Because if those people are killed by the Iraqis, that is not only the responsibility of the Iraqi regime, it is the responsibility of an American regime which did not keep its promises. And I am an American who's proud of America, and I want to see America keep its promises now. The people of Ashraf were asked to move to Camp Liberty, which does not meet the standards for a refugee camp. It meets the standards of a prison camp. And they were asked to move with a promise that they would relocate. So far, 5 people have been relocated. We can do better than that, and we must do better than that, and the United Nations must do better than that. And the United Nations has a problem, because the ambassador from the United Nations has an automatic conflict of interest. We're not going to discuss his job, how well he's done or how bad he's done. What we are going to say is, when you are married to the German ambassador to Iraq, then you have a conflict inside your family about what the principal job that you're supposed to be doing is. And we need someone with no conflicts to work hard to diffuse this situation. The United Nations has been too slow. And this time, if the United Nations is too slow, there will be people who pay with their lives. That is not acceptable. And if that happens, I may join those people on the other side of the aisle who believe the United Nations appropriations ought to be cut if they can't do their job. I understand that everything takes time, and I'm a patient person. But I will not stand for innocent people losing their lives because of bureaucratic incompetency. That I will not stand for, and neither should any American, any Iranian, or anybody else in the world. People will die if we don't do what's right. Bureaucracy is not an excuse for murder. And murder is on the minds of the Iraqi government and the Iranian government, and we need to do better. Finally, let me say this. The NRCI has had its problems in the past. The truth of the matter is that the NRCI is also the best organized opposition, has renounced violence long ago, stands for the same things that the United States now stands for, and we need to get past the past. We need to understand this is the legitimate democratic opposition. There are other groups, we will help them too. As Ambassador Richardson said, The regime in Iran represents the greatest danger on the face of the earth. This is a regime that supports terrorism everywhere. Thousands of Americans have died at the hands of this regime, not to mention tens of thousands of others and hundreds of thousands of Iranians. And I say, extraordinary quote that Maryam Rajavi used from the mother of the Iranian blogger who was murdered, that he was a lion and that you are cowards. But I will add something. For each Iranian blogger, just as for every son and daughter of the revolution that took place over 200 years ago in my country, for each one that's murdered by the Iranian secret police, there will be 5 more, and then 5 more after that until Iran is free. Thank you very much.